This conference will now be recorded.
Hello guys, welcome to Kumar Consulting. So guys, in this session, I'm going to start account receivable. So here, first of all, we'll understand what is this account receivable and all, and we'll see the basic setting first. We'll post the invoices and all, and there are many other topics which comes under account receivable, which will be covered one by one. There are lots of important topics in account receivable also, guys. And very unique questions are going to be asked by people during interview, and everywhere, as I told earlier also, that scenario based questions are going to be asked. So of course we are going to cover those topics. All the configurations will be there, that much everybody knows. But what about you guys? So I'll cover all the scenario which is going to make you people exclusive compared to whichever the competitors are there in the market. So let's have a discussions about, let me explain this account receivable, and we'll do the basic configurations, and then we'll proceed further for that whatever these other topics are there one by one from next session onwards. So now, if you talk about account receivable, then the first question will come in your mind is what is account receivable, and I guess most likely you guys will be having some basic idea what is account receivable and all about this. Account receivable means all the transactions which is related to the customers are going to be taken care here. Now look at this definition, guys. If a company has receivables, then they have made a sales but have not collected the money from the purchaser. Most company operates by allowing a portion of their sales to be on credit, offering their client the ability to pay after receiving the product or services. If you talk about this sentences and all, guys, it's quite complex. If you talk about the meaning is quite simple if I'm going to explain in my words, if I'm going to explain in my sentences. Of course, this is just a copy paste in the sense I have taken from somewhere, I have kept it. Now, in the simplest way, as we know that every organizations are having certain, like every organizations, let's suppose if you talk about, say for example, Tata Motor itself. So it's a manufacturing organizations which is going to produce the end product, in the sense four-wheeler, let's suppose they are manufacturing. So of course, purchaser will be there, buyers will be there, right? And apart from this, if they are manufacturing the things and all, then they have to procure certain raw material, they have to procure lots of things. So vendors also will be there. So whoever the suppliers are there, that is going to be treated as a vendor, and whichever the customers or purchasers are there, they are going to be treated as a customer. So for vendors, we are having separate, that is called account payable, and for customers, whatever the transactions are taking place, whatever the invoices we are going to, whatever the sales are going to be paid to the customers and all, these all are going, all transactions whichever is there, that is called account receivable. Account receivable in the sense, like here what is happening, guys, if you talk about any organization or whichever the organizations are there. So since if you are able to remember in account payable, I told that very less number of transactions are taking place on cash basis. Most of the transactions are taking place on credit basis itself. It means we have purchased certain things from vendor, and what is happening, and after certain period we are going to make payment once we receive the goods and all, right? And because of that, we have defined the payment terms, or which is called terms of payment. The same thing is applicable in account receivable also. If we are going to sell something to your customer or to this customer of Tata Motor is going to sell certain things to the its customer, then what will happen, even the customer is also going to pay those amount after some time, might be after 30 days, after 60 days, 90 days, as per the negotiation between the customers and the Tata Motor sales department, right? So now what is happening, if we have sold certain goods right now, what is happening, guys? It means the customers are liable to pay those amount. So whatever things, let's suppose if Tata Motor has sold let's suppose vehicle worth of 1 lakh rupees to a particular customer, then for that customer, whichever this amount is there, if they are going to post in their, what to say, ERP and all, they will treat this item as this amount as a liability, because they must have to pay this amount to the data motor. At the same time, the same amount is going to be treated in the data motor as assets. Why? Because this is our receivables which we are going to receive after some time. So what is happening, guys? If you talk about financial statement, as we know, financial statement consists of P&L and balance sheet. So in balance sheet, whatever the receivables are there, that is going to be shown under asset side, because we are going to receive those amounts. Whatever the payables are there, that is our liability, because we are liable to pay those amounts. So now here, so we'll talk about the configurations part. If we talk about the receivables and all, and here, like, let's suppose if we talk about a simplest transactions which is taking place, of course we are having lots of other transactions also will be explained, and even certain GST configurations also I'll be explaining here itself, but still some time is there. Before that, we have to discuss other topics also. Those are also very important. Now, dunning is quite important topic, guys. That also I have to explain. Everybody knows the configurations and all, but certain scenarios I'm going to explain, and you will not find those scenario anywhere, neither on YouTube or none of the video you'll be finding. So anyway, that is like one by one we'll cover those scenarios also. If you go to interview, people are going to ask those scenarios only. They'll never ask like how to configure account receivable, how to configure dunning, or how to configure XYZ. No, they will just put a scenario, and if you're having a perfect understanding, you'll be able to understand the scenario. And if you're able to understand the scenario, 100% you guys are going to give the perfect answer. Anyway, so now we are discussing about the transactions, which is a simplest transactions which is taking place in account receivable. So let's suppose we have sold a goods worth of any amount. Okay, so now what is happening in that case? Your customer account is going to be debited with certain amount. Let's suppose 1K, and your sales revenue account is going to be credited with the same amount. Now here, if you talk about the customer account, this is a master data. So this is called customer master data. I'm typing in shortcut only. Okay, and this is the sales revenue account is GL master data. Now, so if you talk about GL master data, easily we will be able to create GL master data. Why? Because whatever the basic configurations required for GL is already done. Now it's simply we have to create a GL account by using FS00, which is very famous transaction code. It will take hardly few seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, or might be 1 minute. But if you talk about the customer, for the customer also we have to set up a master data. Okay, master data means what, guys? Master data consists of, if we talk about the customer master, it consists of all the details related to the customer. Okay, the name of the customer, their address, their phone number, fax number, email ID, contact person, right? Apart from this, what negotiation has happened in the terms of payment and all. So this terms of payment is also going to be specified, right? Lots of details will be there that we'll see. Now, so what is happening? So here a customer master need to be set up. But in order to set up a customer master, first of all, we must have to do certain configurations. Why? Because if you talk about customer master, then of course before that certain configurations we must have to do. The way we have done the configurations for GL master, the way we have done the configurations for vendor master, in the same way we have to do the configurations for customer master also. And what is common here, guys? The common thing is here for customer master also we have to define the account group. Okay. What is this account group, guys, and then what does it control? So as I have already explained, and here also, guys, this is just a basic question. I don't think that people will ask such kind of questions during interview. If anybody is asking any such kind of question, it means the performer, in the sense the candidate, response are quite poor, and that is why people came to the basic level questions, right? If somebody asks, what do you mean by account group? What do you mean by document type, right? Or number range, or any such kind of, what do you mean by posting key, right? So these are just a basic questions. These questions are not supposed to be asked by interviewer, guys, because most likely people are going to try as an experienced candidate. So of course people will ask scenario, they'll give the scenario, and based on that they are expecting some response from you guys. Anyway, so now here we are talking about the customers. So the customer means, here also for customer also we have to create the account group, we have to create the number ranges and all, we have to assign this number ranges. So what about this account group, guys? What does it control? So already I have explained earlier also, and right now also I'm going to explain that account group controls the fields which appears during creation of customer master. If somebody asked about the customer master, if somebody asked like, what do you mean by, like, let's suppose if somebody asks, what do you mean by customer account group? In that case, we can say that account group controls the fields which appears during creation of customer master. It also controls the number ranges of customer master, right? But if somebody is going to ask, what do you mean by account group? No customer, no vendor, no GL. It means a common account group. So you have to also give the answer in that way itself. Account group controls the fields which appears during creation of master data. This, the interviewer has not asked which account group, GL account group, customer account group, or vendor account group. So we have also not explained which account group. Simply we said the common account group, and of course it's quite common. Every account group, whether it is customer account group, vendor account group, or GL account group, all account group controls the what? It controls the fields of respective master data, right? It also controls the number ranges, which is quite easy to understand because third time it is going to be repeated. Now we are having some other things also, guys. Reconciliation account also will come into picture. I will just show you one by one. So first of all, we have to define the customer account group. What is the use of customer account group? Just now I have explained here. Okay, it's a group of similar nature of master data. Why I said master data? Because the way interviewer is going to ask the question in the similar way, we have to respond also. They are not going to specify any specific account group. If somebody asks, what do you mean by GL account group? In that case, you can say that GL account group is the group of a similar nature of GL accounts. And then you can say that it controls the fields which appears during creation of GL master, and apart from this, it also controls the number range which of GL master, right? But if somebody asks a common question, what do you mean by account group? Then in that way itself we have to respond. Now, so the first thing is we have to set up the account group. The second one is number ranges, and then the third one is this number range is going to be assigned against account group. And keep one thing in your mind, guys, the way we are going to set up the vendor master. What is happening if you set up the vendor master? This vendor master is going to be set up against a particular account group, right? So since the account group and whatever the number ranges are there, that number range we are going to assign against account group itself. I'll explain this practically also. So the number range has been assigned against account group, and whichever customer or vendor master is there, that is going to be set up against account group itself. So this is how, once you save the customer, how system is going to generate the customer master number. So that is going to be generated with the help of account group itself, because we have set up the customer against account group. So system came to know that, okay, this account group is there. Against this account group, what number range has been assigned? Let's suppose we have assigned 01 or 02. So against this 02 code, which range we have given, right? So in this way, system is going to identify the customer number. Now, creation of reconciliation GL, guys. This is already explained during account payable. Once again, I'll explain. Okay, because if you talk about this logic, there are lots of people. Doesn't know the logic behind creation of account group. Sorry, reconciliation account. So let's suppose we are having lots of customer. Okay, every customer. So once again, we are having certain balances. Can anybody explain what is the use of this account? Sorry, what is the use of a reconciliation account? No answer, guys, till now. Anyone can unmute the audio and explain. Okay, so the mother has replied here by chat box. What about others? Say something, right? And better to try to interact, isn't it? Because this is how your confidence levels are going to increase, guys. Max to max, there might be a mistake. So I'm here to, rectify those things and all. Isn't it? Don't hesitate to say something, whether it is right or wrong, whatever it is. But if you speak out, then it will be better for you, right? Because during interview, there is no any kind of this one. Amar, you want to say something?
Yes, reconciliation account closest of the receivable and payables.
Your voice is not audible. Can you repeat again?
Yeah, to know the status of the receivables.
Still some problem is there. I don't know whether you're using headphone and all. Anybody, if anybody else want to reply, can reply. Okay. Durga Datta is saying it's a subledger. Yes, it is a subledger. Okay. Okay, guys. So again, I'll explain. So now here, let's suppose we are having several customers. Every customers are having, look at here, certain invoices we have posted. So whatever the invoices we have posted, these invoices, the payment we have not really received yet, right? But guys, these all, so whichever invoices like is there, like customer A is having this much balance, B is having this much balance. It means this much we have to receive from customer A, and this much we have to receive from B, this much we have to receive from D, right? So which is why these all amounts are treated as our receivable. Okay, receivable. Okay, these all amounts are our receivable. Don't look at the spellings and all. I always type to type in shortcut itself. Now, so these all amounts are our receivables. Once you generate the financial statement, there is a separate topic called financial statement version. Once I cover that topic, guys, once again I'll explain this logic so that you guys will be having 100% idea, isn't it? This is how you guys are going to be a perfect consultant, isn't it? Just knowing the configurations and all is not going to solve the problems, issues and all, because end users are going to ask the solutions. So how you guys are going to provide the solutions? Solutions can be given only if you are able to understand the requirement. Now, so here, these all are our receivable amount, right? If you talk about what is the total receivable, then it is 32K. How I came to know it is 32K? Because all amounts are there in Excel sheet. I simply just taken the sum of these all and I easily came to know that amount is 32K. But this is like if we are having the less number of customer, guys, if we are having the less number of customer, and that too these all customer I have listed out here in Excel sheet itself. So which is why it's quite easy to count that okay, total receivable is this much. But once you publish your financial statement, in that, as I told you, financial statement is the combination of P&L account and balance sheet. So in your balance sheet, you have to show the total receivable. And let's suppose we are having 20,000 customers. We are having 30,000 customers. These many customers are set up in our master in our SAP. Every customers will have certain balances, right? So now how to going to sum up these all 20,000 customer balances? If somebody is going to take a sum of one by one every customer balances, it may take month together, or of course some additional resources need to be deployed to count these all balances, and still there is no guarantee that it is going to be 100% accurate. So now what is happening, guys? So SAP has given a solution, and solution means what? Whenever we set up the customer master, so in customer master we are having an options to assign a particular GL account. Let's suppose we have set up a GL account any 1002. Okay, 1002 in the sense like since whatever the GL account group is there in that asset account group, because this is our receivables, so that is going to be set up under assets, right? And assets account group means what? Number ranges we have given, guys. One series number ranges we have given. So this GL account, we have created a reconciliation GL, and that GL is going to be assigned against all the customers. Assigning all the customers means whenever these customers are going to be set up, guys, at the time of creation, a reconciliation account is going to be assigned. Okay, and once we assign this reconciliation account, then what will happen, guys? Whenever we are going to post a transaction, whenever this transaction is getting posted, this amount is getting posted against this particular customer, then what will happen? The same amount is going to be updated even in background. The same amount is going to be updated in this GL also. This amount is going to be updated again in the same GL. This amount is also going to be updated against same GL, right? So what is happening, guys? Instead of taking the customer balances one by one, and then we came to know that this is the total receivable. So instead of taking all balances, you take the balance of the GL account, and easily you guys will come to know that this is our total receivable. Okay, if you talk about the preparation of financial statement, whether it is P&L, whether it is balance sheet, people are not going to prepare the financial statement manually. Those days are gone. Now in SAP, what is happening, guys? Automatically it is getting updated. Okay, automatically we'll be having, for that we need to do a configuration, guys, that I'll let you know the configurations how to do, isn't it? And once I start the financial statement version configurations, there once again I'll give some exclusive explanations so that you guys will be having a perfect understanding. So what is happening, once you set up your financial statement, simply we are going to assign the GL accounts over there, and automatically system is going to fetch the GL balances. Whatever the total GL balances are there, that is going to be fetched by system. So now here, instead of like if you have to count the total receivable, so in your financial statement version, what is happening, guys? This receivable GL, reconciliation GL is going to be assigned. Okay, I think right now few of you will not be having that visualizations, whoever is doing this training first time. However, most of you have already taken this training, so if you are able to remember how to configure this financial statement version and all, then you will be able to visualize whatever I am saying. If not able to visualize also, no worry, because I am going to explain this financial statement from zero. Okay, now, so what I am saying, that in financial statement version we are going to assign the GL account. Okay, so for this receivables, what is happening, this GL account we are going to assign over there. Once you assign the GL account, system automatically system is going to read out the GL balance, and this is how system will come to know okay, 32K is our total receivable. So what is the use of reconciliation account, guys? Reconciliation account is going to consolidate all the receivables or even all the payables, because for payables also, if you are able to remember, we have created a separate reconciliation account. So if somebody asks what do you mean by customer reconciliation account, guys, So customer reconciliation account means whatever the customer balances are there, that is going to be consolidated. With the help of reconciliation account, what will happen, guys? All the customer balances we are going to get a consolidated figure with the help of reconciliation account, and this is how we will come to know what is our total receivable. This is the logic behind creation of reconciliation account, guys. I have already recorded these all things, whatever I am explaining, whether it is small questions, whether it is scenario based questions, whether it is a big questions, hard questions, whatever is there, I have recorded these all things in the form of interview question and answers, all this list. Okay, once I share, you guys will come to know. But anyway, why I am putting more and more stress here, because instead of waiting for those questions and then mugging up those questions and all, if you guys are going to have a look here, then I think it will be quite easy during the preparations once I send those question and answers and all. Because the question answers where I'm going to derive, guys, here from these videos only, from these topics only I'm going to derive, right? In the sense live session only I'm going to derive, or I have already derived those questions from these sessions only, right? So if you're having good understanding of these topics, then you'll be having quite, easily, it is going to be quite easy for this interview preparations and all. Now, so we are talking about the reconciliation account. What is the logic behind reconciliation account? This is the logic just now I have explained, that whatever our total receivables are there, that is going to be consolidated. How? With the help of reconciliation account, right? So now, or with the help of reconciliation account, we will come to know what is our total receivable. Okay. Now, so what are the configuration steps? First of all, we have to define account group. We have to create number ranges. We have to assign number ranges to the customer account group, create the reconciliation account, and then we'll create the customer master. Okay, we'll set up a customer master, guys, and we'll post an invoice. We'll release a payment. These are the basic transactions which we have to see in this session. Next session onwards, whatever the other topics are there of account receivable is going to be started with exclusive explanations. So let me do one thing, guys. Let me log in first. Okay, guys, so first of all, we have to set up the customer account group. How to set up? The transaction code is OBD2, OBD4 for mail account group, OBD3 for vendor, and OBD2 for customer. So now here, click on new entry, and let's suppose give a customer account group. I'm going to give the same code, guys, whichever your company code is there, and give a description here. Just save it. Now, if you talk about the customer account group, how it is going to control the field, look at here. Double click on any one general data. Let's suppose general data is going to have these many details. So double click on customer, address data. So while setting up the customer, these all fields are going to appear. Okay, if any field, let's suppose client says that I don't want this name 4 and name 3 field, you can suppress it. Or else if the client says that, let's suppose this is street address field supposed to be mandatory, inputs, in the sense while setting up a customer, the master data team they must have to give the street address and whatever the address details are there, right? So these things are going to be made it as a required entry, right? So this is what the use of these all things. Already we have discussed, previously also we have discussed during GL, during vendors and all. Now, so what we have done, we have set up an account group. What next, guys? So the next one is setting up the number range. XDN1 is the transaction code, guys. Click on insert interval here in the middle one. And look at here guys, several number range has been defined by people. So if you are able to find out the number range which is still unutilized, right? Here the major challenge is if you're having more and more number range has been defined. In real time, let's suppose once you become a consultant, then there won't be this number ranges and all. You can define whichever number range you want in the sense as per your desire. You can define the number ranges and all. But here, since this is a practice server and that is in online server, what is happening guys? Lots of people are doing their practice. So of course, several people have created their number ranges. Now, if we are going to set up our number range, let's suppose I'm going to give here 0203 is there. Like let's suppose I'm going to give 0504. Okay, and I've given 1000 to 1999, and if I press enter, okay, let me save it. Let's check. Let me check whether it is going to be allowed or not. Save it. It got saved. It got saved. So I have, successfully we have created. Now what is happening? Most likely, if you guys are going to set up, like let's suppose now I am going to set up a number range of 01, because the 01 code is also, I don't think that it is going to be, it has not used. Now if you're going to set up 1500 to let's suppose 2500, and if you press enter, system will not allow you to save. Why? Because there is a message here, interval without overlap. In the sense, what is happening guys, here overlapping issue is there. I have set up a number range that is 1000 to 1999, and again a different number range somebody, or let's suppose somebody is going to set up with this number to 2500. So now how come it possible? Just wait guys, I think somebody is okay. Now so in this one we are having 1000 to 1999, and here 1500 to 2500. So whatever the number range is from 1500 till 1999, it is overlapping, because these number ranges here in this range also we are having those numbers, and in this number also those numbers are there, right? So it is a kind of conflict. System will not allow. Even if one number range also, if one number is also having a common, like let's suppose from 1999 onwards, if you are going to set up, so this is the last number of this range, and from there itself we are going to start this one. So this number 1999 is common in here also and here also. So again conflict is there, in the sense it is overlapping. So you must have to give like 2000 to 2500 or 3000, whatever you want to give. Okay, so this is what the logic. But anyway, since I'm able to save, okay, this 04, so what will happen, we can assign 04 number range itself. So how to assign this number range guys? Number range, whichever account group we have set up, against that account group itself we are going to assign the number range. /n OB AR is the transaction code, and your account group, click on position TM02, and here we are going to assign number and 04. And guys, if let's suppose if you are unable to set up the number range, okay, every time whenever you are trying to set up a number range, that is going to be overlapped somewhere. Okay, so instead of wasting your more and more time on setting up this number range, what will happen, because this is quite easy guys, I'm not saying that you have to spend half an hour and then to find out okay which number range is still unutilized. No, instead of that you can use the standard which is given by SAP, use 02. Okay, 02. I'll just do one thing, even though I have created 04, any of you if you want to use during practice you can use the 04. Now look at here, I have assigned 02. Now, so this is the standard which is given by SAP. Just for practice purpose, you can use this 02. Just save it. So now what we have done guys, we have defined our account group, we have created the number range, we have assigned the number range. What next? the reconciliation account also supposed to be created. So use transaction code FS00, FS00, and then here let me change the company code, guys, TF02. And reconciliation account is going to be account receivable, right? It is going to create under asset account group. So click on new entry. Here till 1000, 1001, I'm going to set up 1002. Press enter. Okay. Now here this company code that's supposed to be changed, and then press enter. Select your account group, guys. Several times we have created the GL account, so I don't think that you guys should have any issues. Account receivable, and click on control data. And now here you need to select customer as a reconciliation account type. For vendor, it is going to be vendor. Apart from this line item display, don't apply a check mark open item management, because by default whatever the reconciliation GL is there, that is going to be set up as a open item itself. Give a sort key and then give a field status group that is 067. Okay, and don't apply a check mark here post automatically, because by default the reconciliation account is going to be posted automatically itself. It cannot be posted manually, guys. Why? Where is the control? So how system will come to know whether it is a reconciliation account? Here is the control. If you assign customer, if you assign vendor, if you assign material, right, then what is happening? If you are assigning assets and all, system will come to know that this is a reconciliation GL, and reconciliation GL cannot be posted directly. We are having certain exceptions, guys, in asset management. Okay, in asset management we are having some exceptions. I'll tell you guys, in asset management we are having like a reconciliation account will be posted. Okay, manually it is going to be posted. How it is going to be posted, there will be exclusive explanations for that one also, guys. You won't be finding anywhere any videos for that one also, because that is like there is a topic called uploading the assets and all, how the asset balances are going to be uploaded into SAP, how the asset master data are going to be uploaded in SAP and all. Everybody, if there is 100 people, out of 100, almost you can say 99.95% of the people will be having confusion here, right? So anyway, so that is like once I start the asset management, then I'll explain those things, how it is going to happen. Okay, and even I have recorded that in the form of interview question and answers, and I have explained it, clearly over there. Practically I have shown how it is getting updated and what are the challenges actually, isn't it, once you upload the balances and all, right? And how the balances are going to be uploaded even by using the reconciliation GL also. So that is a separate things we'll cover and we'll discuss once I start the asset management. But before that, we are having a lot more topic to discuss yet. So let me save it. What we have done, guys. Now, so here we are able to set up our reconciliation GL, that is account receivable, and the GL number is 1002. We'll create a basic customer. Basic customer means with the only required details. Okay, because we are having other topic also, as I said. So once we cover those topic, again we'll come back to the customer master and we'll assign the required whatever the details are there one by one. So right now, since we have to post a basic invoice and we'll release the payments and all, so create a basic customer. So how to set up a customer, guys? XD01 is the transaction code. Use XD01 here. Now, what is your account group? So here, if you are going to select like this, here only descriptions are going to appear of this account groups and all, right? So you'll be finding lots of similar descriptions. It will be difficult to find out which one is your account group. Instead of that, you just click here, account group overview. If you click here, you can give your code, account group code. Look at here. Now it came. Okay. Even you'll come to know what is the number range is there, and out of which how many customers have been set up. Visual status are going to appear. Double click on Tata Motor and give your company code. Don't give the sales organization, distribution channel and division. What is the logic behind that is going to be explained in details once I start FI SD integration. Okay, once I start the FI SD integrations, there I'll explain the logic behind this sales area. Sales area is nothing but the combination of sales organization, distribution channel and division. So these things are going to be explained in details during integration topic. Now you just press enter. And here, let's suppose, give any name, guys. I'm going to give test customer for, let's suppose, TM02. You can give any organization name, Alpha Limited, Gamma Limited, Beta Limited, or XYZ Limited, whatever you want. As I told that I'm going to give only mandatory details. Here, give your country code. I'm not giving this a street address and other things, other details and all. Apart from this, of course, we are having lots of tab, like let's suppose if you talk about the control data, there will be a separate lecture on this one. We are having a topic called if the customer is also your vendor. So there we are going to use this. Okay. So now we'll do one thing, guys. Okay, here we have given this all the details. Now directly you jump to company code data. Jump to the company code data, and here in company code data, this reconciliation account 1002 we have set up. Give this reconciliation accounts and all, nothing else apart from this. This whatever the other fields are there, whichever the required fields are there, like whichever few other fields are there, that is going to be explained because there will be separate lecture as I told you guys, right? So there will be a separate lecture on that. Now you just give your account, this one reconciliation account. Okay, this for this head office, there is a video which I have uploaded on YouTube. Okay, head office and branch office concept, and later I'll share that video because there are certain other important topics which I have recorded. So once I share those topics, I'll share this one also to you guys. Okay, so now here what is happening, reconciliation account I'm given. Apart from this, in payment transactions, just give your terms of payment, anyone, whether you want to give TM30, whichever we have set up earlier, or else if you want to give the standard, better to give standard because once you post the invoices, immediately it is going to be due, and this is how we'll be able to make the payment immediately also itself. So I have given 0001. Now apart from this, nothing else, guys. This correspondence and all, as I told you guys that there is a separate topic called dunning. Once I cover this dunning and all with certain exclusive scenarios and all, so we'll talk about those things. Apart from this, nothing else. Just save it. We are having sales area data also will be there in customer master, but as I told that right now we have not done any configurations related to this sales area, so that is why those tab is not appearing over there. But later on, once I start the integrations, then we'll see the logic behind that. Now look at here, guys, the customer number. Okay, the customer number is 100361. I'll just do one thing, I'll note it down here. So for TM02, right? So we'll do one thing, I'll copy like this. Okay, now for TM02, the customer number is 1361. This is the customer number. Okay, now what is happening? We have set up the customer master. We post an invoice. Sorry, I've given a wrong transaction code. FB70. And what customer number we have given here? 100361. So give this customer number. First of all, let me check your company code TM01, but our testing is going to happen for TM02. Okay. Now, so I will take this customer number. So guys, whatever my company codes are there, like let's suppose TM01 or TM02 or TM20. Okay, so don't make any experiment in these company code, guys, because I always do some kind of experiments before teaching any topic. I just do some research and all to make the topic quite easier so that you guys will be able to understand from top to bottom each and everything. So apart from these, whatever the company codes are there, if you have to make any experiment, you create your own company code in the same server, you do whatever experiments you want. Okay. So now I've given the customer and then give a date. Here amount, let's suppose give any amount. I've given 1K, and we have to give what, guys? We have to give sales revenue GL account. So what is happening? Have we set up this GL account? Let me check. We have not set up yet. So you just click on create button and give a GL number 3000. Here I have set up a GL account already, but this is 3001. I'm going to set up sales revenue GL. That is, let's suppose I've given number 3000. Press enter. Select your account group. Of course, it is a part of what is the P&L. So a normal GL we are going to set up, guys. Now here, that's it. Just save it. Now, so what we have done, we have set up a sales revenue GL 3000. Give your credit balance here 1000 and press enter. Everything is perfect. There is no issues and all. Now, if you want to look at the accounting entry, you can click on simulate. Look at here 1000. Just save it. Now, if you want to have a look on customer balances, create a session. FBL5N, and here, so look at here, we are having an open item worth of 1000. Now let's suppose we'll talk about customer credit memo. Customer credit memo is what, guys? When let's suppose you have whatever your organization is there, XYZ, whichever the organization is there, that organization has sold certain goods to the customer, and customer found that certain items are defective, so they are going to return. Okay, in that case, what is happening, guys? If you have sold a goods worth of 1000 rupees and you have got a return worth of 300 rupees, then what will happen? You must have to adjust your books of account, because now we are responsible in the sense we can expect a payment of 700 only. So what is happening, guys? Your books of account also shows the total overall 700 receivable only, right? So let's suppose if you receive customer credit memo, in the sense customer return. So in that case, here itself we are having an options. You can select credit memo or else use transaction code FB75. Look at here credit memo. By default it is API. Give your customer number and let's suppose give any date here, out of which 300 worth of this one we have received as a refund. Now look at here, earlier sales revenue GL was getting credited in the previous transactions. Right now the sales revenue GL is going to be debited. Why? Because credit 1000 minus debit 300. So what is happening, guys? The total, you just save it, total balances it is going to show. Here, click on refresh. Look at here. So now, okay, so total balances here 700. This is a customer, what to say this one, guys? I'm not going to have a look at GL wise. This is the customer balances. So your customer is going to be debited. Your customer is going to be debited, and GL, whatever sales revenue GL is there, that is going to be credited. So earlier in the previous transaction, customer got debited with 1000. This is debit balance. This is the debit balance. And now what is happening? 300 credit balance is there. So total how much receivable, guys? Total we are liable to receive. We are, what to say? we are supposed to receive 700 rupees. We'll do one thing, release the payment. F+28 is the transaction code, and we'll post the payment also. Give your bank account and how much amount, let's suppose 700, and what is your customer account number? So 361, right? 100361. Press enter, and this number range related issues. So for this number range GZ, number range 18 is missing. So what is happening, guys? Go to OBA7 transaction code, and okay, here where is the DZ? It's here, double click. So it's somebody has assigned 18. Okay, now what is happening, guys? We have, if you have a look here, number and informations, and give your company code, we have set up 01 number range, right? So either you have to set up 18 here, number range, and then you can save it, or else you just come back and you assign 01 and save it. Whichever you want, you can do. Okay. Now, so since the error has taken place, once again you have to give all the details. Amount 700. This is the customer. Press enter. Now look at here, 1000 in the form of debit and 300 in the form of credit, right? Now here, amount entered by us, it's 700, and even system has also assigned 700 itself, right? So if you want to see the accounting entry, click on simulate. Look at here, your customer is going to be credited with this much amount, and bank is going to be debited with this much amount. Why? Because only 700 amount we are going to receive from the customer. So this is why bank is going to be debited with 700 itself, right? Just post it. Now, once we posted, entire story is finished, right? Once we receive the amount, entire story is finished. You just click on list, refresh, all the open item has been, it's gone. Now, if you want to click on all out item or cleared item, then you will be having the details that this much worth of DR means invoice. 1000 worth of invoice we have posted. Look at here, document type, guys. Here, with the help of document type itself, we will come to know that whether this is invoice or credit memo or payment, right? And already I have explained during basic setting configurations what is the use of this document type and all. Explain in complete details. So in that one line I have added that document type determine the types of transactions. What is the types of transactions? In the sense, the nature of transactions here. Look at here, this is one amount, this one is another amount, and this one is another amount. How you will come to know which one is the invoices, which one is the credit memo, and which one is the payment? So with the help of document type. DR means what? This is for customer invoices, DZ for customer credit memo, and DZ for customer payment. Whenever you post a different nature of transactions, every transactions are going to be posted directly or indirectly against a particular document type itself. And with the help of document type, we will come to know what kind of transaction it is, whether it is a customer invoices or vendor invoices, customer credit memo or vendor credit memo, or a normal JV, right? Whether the payment has been released through APP or we have made a manual payment. So these all things can be identified how? It's with the help of document type. Okay, so document type determine the types of transactions, already I have explained previously. So now what is happening, guys? Since we have posted an invoice worth of 1000, then here we came to know that we have also, there is a credit memo which is posting, customer credit memo has been posted worth of 300, and finally the payment we have received 700, right? These all things are already cleared. Now the balance is 0. Here clearing document number, since all transactions, all three transactions are having same clearing document number. So this is how you will come to know that these all transactions are relevant to each other. Okay, so this is all about the account receivable basic setting, guys. Okay, and the thus things are not going to be finished here itself. From here onwards, our account receivable journey is going to be started, right? This is thus just a basic settings which we have done. Now from next session onwards, you will see the other topics with the exclusive explanations. So that's all in this session, guys, and that's all for today.